What's up, everyone? It's Jeremy Majors here with Majors Academy Dog Training out of Green Bay, Wisconsin. And we are live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. What's happening? Come hang out with me. I hope you don't mind. I'm going to eat because I'm hungry. So I hope you don't mind that. Between questions, I'm not only going to take a sip of my beer, but I'm also going to take a bite of my food. And I hope you don't mind. Got a question already. All right, let's get it. Okay, we recently adopted a 1-year-old Catalua Lab mix that was found as a stray, dumped in a Walmart parking lot. He seems to have separation anxiety and has been upset in his crate. He was okay in a crate with the foster, but she had other dogs to keep him company, and he is the lone dog in our household. What's the best way to go about getting him to be okay in the kennel for a few hours? Man, you know what? I think it's meant to be for me to talk about separation anxiety. You want to know why? Because I thought I would have talked about separation anxiety anyway, because I just had a big conversation with someone about it. So it must be meant for me to talk about separation anxiety. So let's talk about it. All right. So when it comes to separation anxiety, you have to treat the anxiety when you're not separate. That means you have to give the dog a little bit more time. So the goal is to teach the dog that the crate is a relaxing place. That's the goal. And in order to teach him that, you have to put him in the crate while you're home. And you have to put him in there until he calms down. But more importantly, you have to get non-negotiable obedience in the crate. You cannot allow the dog, the start of anxiety is when the dog whines, scratches, noses the crate, or stands up in the crate. Do not allow any of that. Do not allow any of that. And you have to be attentive in order to get the dog to not do any of those things. But dogs come to me right away, and I have to. The first thing I got to teach them, well, the first thing I actually teach them is the walk. And then I let them go pee and poop. And then there's water in the crate so that their needs met. So now I expect that the dog, because it's tired, because it's peed and pooped, and because it has an option for water and it has been fed, now you have to listen to me when you're in that crate. That's how we get the dog to become comfortable in the crate. So the dog has got to listen to you in the crate. You have to give the dog a job to do. Put him in a sit. He is not allowed to stand. He is not allowed to nose the crate. He is not allowed to whine. He's not allowed to scratch, and definitely not allowed to bark. All of those behaviors are the early stages of separation anxiety. And if you can tackle those, you never get a dog who breaks the crate or breaks out of the crate, breaks their teeth, or pees and poops in the crate too. So again, basically you have to sort of force him to become comfortable in that crate by giving him something to do that is non-negotiable. Never talk to the dog sweet in the crate. Never get excited while he's in the crate. The crate should be for calm energy only. So if you're not telling him what to do, then you should be ignoring him pretty much. You never want to get the dog excited in the crate. When you come home and he's in that crate, do not let that dog out while he's excited, because you just allowed the excitement to be reinforced as a behavior that works for them. And that means that they're going to be excited the next time and the next time. And that's feeding into the anxiety because he's anxious. I want to come out. I want to come out. I want to come out. You have to guide that dog to relaxation before he comes out of the crate. Very important. So sometimes you have to force the dog to become calm. And many trainers will be very comfortable or uncomfortable with the word force or control, but I'm not. I mean, you're basically forcing him to be in the crate anyway. You might as well make him act the way he needs to act to become mentally free of the anxiety. So there you go. Feel free to ask more questions about this matter too. Look at this coaster. Look at E-collar Technologies. They did not pay me to do this, okay? All right. Let's keep it moving. All right. Gospel Evans said, Mr. Majors, I'm getting an 8-week male Boston in a month. It's the pandemic, and it will only have the shots given by breeder. How do I ensure a dog gets socialized? I live in an apartment. Well, get with friends if you have them. I hope you have friends. Get with family members who have good dogs. I mean, you can social distance at a dog park, or take it to a trusted dog daycare. But after it has its third round of shots, obviously. Yeah. Make sure you're just socializing that dog with dogs that you know are good dogs. You know what I'm saying? It's not about how many dogs the dog meets, but how socialized the dogs are that they meet, that he meets. Don't know anyone with dogs. You got to get to know them. I'm sure wherever you are, check this out. If there's like Boston Terrier meetup groups in your area, there's tons of those throughout the country. Try checking those out. You know what I'm saying? That might do it. Also, look for you can also look for there's probably breed clubs or kennel clubs. There's probably Boston Terrier kennel clubs that may be a resource for training and socializing. So check your local. Just type in Google kennel clubs or Boston Terrier kennel clubs. You know what I mean? They may be able to help you out as well. Okay. Patty says, first of all, how's Maverick doing? To a boarding kennel in the future, since he's apprehensive of strangers. Well, I don't think he's I think he's fine if they if he's away from you guys. First and foremost, he's going to be much better when it comes to being introduced to strangers. Secondly, he's going to be much better because you're going to know how to make him accept strangers. So I don't really foresee that being a problem now that I know who he is. I don't foresee that being a problem. He's just young, he's pushy, and he's kind of a slave to his testosterone right now. But he's a good dog overall. So we'll work that out. I appreciate that question. Hey, Alex. All right. Kim says, do you recommend any dog daycares in the Green Bay area? No. And yeah, I'm sorry about that. I wouldn't. Okay. So Animal House, I don't know if you had experience with them, but I do know that the lady that was a dog trainer there for like 10 years is the lady that watches my dogs when I go out of town. So You know, I'm relatively comfortable with that. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't know. I've talked with in the past I've talked with what's the name of that place? Uh oh man, I'm drawing a blank. If it comes to me, I'll tell you. Shit. It's right on Packerland. Yeah, I don't know. Hey Rachel, congratulations to you and your family for having a beautiful, beautiful baby. All right. Yeah, I don't know. Pooches and mutts. That's it. Good job, Rachel. Pooches and mutts. I've talked to that lady, and she seems pretty nice. Um, yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I've got to take a bite. I'm starving. Sorry, guys. All right. Let's see. Let's keep going. Okay. So, what you smashing? Tacos. Let's go. Tacos are always a good go-to, right? Okay. Joanna says, wait a minute. Can't go wrong with tacos. You damn right. All right, we have an elderly bull mastiff that was recently that has recently become very aggressive with people coming up or down the stairs in the entrance of our house. She's fine once they're out of the stairwell area. Oh man. Um. All right, elderly bull mastiff. Holy smokes, that's a big dog. Um. So what you'll need to do is have the ability to teach her to get away from the stairs when people are coming up. And that's going to be a pretty easy fix as far as being able to set that up because all you have to do is have one of your family members come up the stairs. And if she goes near the stairs, then you'll have to tell her to come. And that come has got to be non-negotiable. She needs to choose to whether to listen to you or listen to herself um, in that scenario. She's 11 and 130 pounds. All right, so you're gonna have it's an uphill battle for sure, but it's not impossible. The dog can still choose to listen to you before it listens to itself. And so if you don't have that sort of control as far as with your words, then you need to add some sort of training tool to the mix to get the dog to say, "Hey, um, I need to listen to her," as opposed to addressing whatever's going on when people come up the stairs. Needs to listen to you more. You need to matter more. Your words need to matter more than whatever's going on between the dog, the stairs, and people coming up. So, so I mean, a good solution for you would be to set it up to where, again, you can have a training tool, and a training tool could be a leash for you. So let the people know, or let people know to let you know that when they're coming, so they can come upstairs, so you or go lay down. Dog to go lay down on its bed on command. When you say and the dog does it, no matter what's going on, then you've solved the problem. but easier said than done for an 11-year-old dog. So you may have to put her on leash or get the dog to come via e-collar. But whatever happens, the dog has got to listen to when you say, come, go lay down, or no, so that you can get the dog away from the area, so that the dog doesn't feel like it has to control that area. Because right now the dog says, I'm going to control this. And I don't know why a lot of dogs have trouble with people coming up and down the steps. It's almost like they want to guard that scenario. They want to claim that. It's really weird. I don't know what the stairs do or what's going on there, but they do that. You know, even my golden retriever pup, when my son comes up the stairs, she gets all frisky when at the top of the stairs waiting for him. So doesn't matter though. That's secondary to, again, the dialogue that you need to have with your dog in order to get your dog to not want to go into that control mode bull crap. All right. Appreciate your question, Stacy. Feel free to ask another. I'm gonna take another bite. Do you host seminars for trainers or pet caregivers? Of course. Yes, I do. Given that it's been given COVID-19, I have not done any of that for a long time. But I also do shadow, where people come and shadow with me. But I love seminars. And so that's something that people should know. If you're a rescue out there, no matter where you are in the United States, if you pay for my travel, I will give you a free seminar. Seminars are free for rescues and shelters. You just got to pay for my travel. That's it. That's it. Okay. My dog is a little shit. Doesn't mind when people are sitting down, but the minute people stand up and walk around, he lunges and goes right after their toes. Oh my God. Feet like a little jerk, thoughts. Hey, when you have time, just invite me over, man. I mean, invite me over. We're going to have to talk about some things. Little dogs are just tough, man. They're tough because they're little and they're harmless-ish. You know what I mean? We let them get away with certain things we would not let a big dog get away with. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter, man. When I take a dog in, when I take a small dog in, I gotta have them for 4 weeks. The standard is 3 weeks. But if I get a small dog, bro, I'm gonna need that dog for 4 weeks, maybe 5, because they're just so used to getting what they want because they're small and cute. It just takes a little bit longer to get into their get them over that stubborn mountain, man. Get into their heads, man. It's just small dogs are tough, man. Hoo-wee! I mean, dang. So, because you're my friend, all you have to do is pay me in beer. You're probably busy right now too with the baby. Uh-oh. Your video was freezing quite a bit. Dang, man. What's up with that? All right, let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's see what else we got. Hold on, here we go. Okay. Hi, I was wondering about training classes for my husband's dog, Daisy. She recently attacked my little dog, Jasper, fractured his jaw, and due to his injuries, his little heart wasn't strong enough for surgery due to a heart murmur and advanced stages of heart disease we don't know about. This tragic accident could have been prevented, and I don't want this to repeat. I'm desperate for help with Daisy and need advice and guidance. Jasper's groomer recommended you guys to me. If you guys are in the Green Bay, well, she ain't really in the Green Bay area, but if you guys are looking for a good groomer and or an Australian Shepherd breeder, check out Lindsay Marak, and her company is Groom Room. It's a dog groomer and a breeder, and she's awesome. Worked with her over the years. She's great. Check her out. Okay. So when it comes to dogs fighting, right? My golden rule with dogs fighting is establish the rule in your household that it's not okay to fight. Give a dog a consequence for the behaviors that lead up to fighting. If you give in, if you do not address a dog um, bullying another dog, snapping at another dog, growling at another dog, if you don't address that, then you are leaving the door wide open for fighting. And I know you're going to say, well, dogs should work it out. They should just work it out on their own. Blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, okay, sometimes, yeah, sure. But sometimes, hell no, because dogs get super hurt. You know, here's the deal. A dog will choose not to go take it to that extent if they actually have some sort of respect for your leadership. You know, you should be able to stop your dogs playing at a moment's notice, especially if one of those dogs, that doesn't matter. Your dog should be able to stop playing when you say stop. Because that's how you're going to keep them from ever taking it to the next level, man. Your dogs, I'm going to repeat this. Your dog should be able to stop playing when you say stop. Hey, take a break. Take it easy. You know what I'm saying? They should not be not listening to you even when they're playing. Because they definitely ain't going to listen to you when they're fighting. You know? So that'd be the first step for you, is to get that dog to realize that it's not okay to fight. Heck, how about this? Make this rule. It's not okay to play rough without the ability to stop at a moment's notice. If you can get that with your dog, then you are very close, if not there, when it comes to being able to stop a fight. Because if my dogs start fighting, if I say stop, they're going to stop fighting. Imagine that, though. Dogs can still listen to you if they respect you enough to stop fighting when they're fighting. And that seems like an impossible feat, but it's very true. I've worked at dog daycares for years and years. And when I did have, when the rare, when there was a fight, and it was very rare that I ever had a fight, all I had to do, because the dogs knew who I was and they knew I was consistent, all I had to do was go over there and grab them by the collar and they would chill out. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want. Instead of the dogs continuing to fight, not giving a crap about you, they may turn around and bite you. You know, I get a lot of that. I get a lot of people who say their dogs bit them in the middle of a fight. She, what? That's crazy. Taco break. All right. Spec says, female German Shepherd puppy, 4 months, rides with my husband during the week in the semi and barks at guards at the gate. Also very bad mannered, jumping on people and counter surfing. Okay. So, I feel you. I'm going to tell you that right now. 4-month-old German Shepherd puppy, not easy to deal with. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay? But you can't let that dog jump on people. And you can't let that dog counter surf. If the dog is counter surfing, then you have work to do. If the dog is jumping on people, you have work to do. Keep the dog on leash while the dog is in your house for a couple of days, so you can actually teach the dog what's right and what's wrong, to the point where the dog chooses not to indulge in jumping and counter surfing because it has a certain level of respect for you. So do what it takes to get respect from that dog when it comes to jumping on people and counter surfing. Because that dog's only going to get bigger, and it's only going to be much more of a headache to deal with. Might as well cut it off right now. You know? The barking at the guards. If you can get the jumping to stop and the counter surfing to stop, you'll have a much better chance to get the to get the barking at the guards to stop too. You got to get the dog to listen to you versus listening to itself. When it sees the guards at the gate, it says, "The hell with you." You want to get that dog to listen to you. So start teaching the dog the on your bed command. Go to your bed. You want to teach the dog the down command. Very good skills to teach the dog. Those skills are non-negotiable, but it will give your dog peace of mind. It will give, unable to start live video. What the? Facebook just crashed on me. Man, I hope I'm still live. Dang. It says I'm still live. Hopefully I'm still live. I don't see myself. This is crazy. What the? Man, what the hell? All right, I'm just going to finish that question. Hopefully you can at least hear me. But again, a couple things got to be non-negotiable. Not a couple, more than a couple. And those are jumping, counter surfing, down, the down command, and the on your bed command. You can get those things to be very understood. Your dog will be the dog you want. It's 4 months old and already barking at people like that. It's only going to get worse for you. Promise you that. It's only going to get worse. Yeah. All right. Good. You pay me in good ass spirit, man. I'm there for you. Hey, anybody who's watching Facebook Live, man, can you guys comment to see if you can actually see me? This shit's crazy. I don't know what's going on. It says I'm still live, but I can't see myself. All right. More questions. You guys feel free to ask as many questions as you like. You're not subject to one question. And ask me anything. I don't care how ridiculous it is. If your dog is eating poop, if he's a chronic poop eater, don't be afraid to ask questions because you're not alone. There are chronic poop eaters out there, man. There are dogs out there just stalking dogs and they're waiting for them to poop. And then when they bend over to poop, oh shit, that mouth is open. I'm sorry. That was probably a little graphic. I regret saying that. Okay, Crystal says, we have a 3-year-old pit mix who never learned to play nice. She doesn't seem to read cues as to when to stop, constantly jumping and biting at their withers. She doesn't play with a lot of dogs, so it's not a huge issue, except we're planning on adding a rot puppy in a month, and I don't want her to teach him bad manners. Suggestions on how to prevent things. Great question. Great question. So you got a 3-year-old female. She probably is a little dominant on the dominant side. She doesn't play a lot with other dogs, constantly jumping / biting at the withers. So you're just going to have to control the bullyish behavior. If the dog is being a bully, then you're going to have to tell her to stop and actually have her stop. I wouldn't necessarily care about adding the new puppy. I'm glad that you're getting a male, and but a rot puppy. Hopefully that dog is submissive. If your female dog is a dominant female, then your best bet at them getting along is to get a submissive male. But if you get a dominant male, it's going to be some problems. It's going to be some problems when the dog gets about 10 months, 11 months old. That's just the natural order of things. Again, unless you get a submissive male, that dog's going to be like, hey, I can see over you now. And you older now. And I'm going to try and see if I can run things. So that's just a non that's just a way of getting them to get along without human intervention is what I'm trying to say. Man, it says my live video has ended on Facebook. Fuck, what the hell's wrong with what? I'm gonna have to start a live video again on Facebook. Reggie, I'm busy. You know I'm busy, then you gotta. What? Hold on, guys. I'm just bringing up Facebook again. Bear with me. I was in the middle of a great question too, man. Dang. Sorry, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulties on Facebook Live, y'all. Okay. So once again, when it comes to two dogs getting along, the dog who is both dogs need to see that you can actually control both dogs. The dog to really prevent any crap from happening. This is what I'm talking about. If you want to prevent anything from happening, both dogs that need to see that you can be in control of both dogs. Say you got a Rottweiler, in your case, a Rottweiler and a Pit Bull. The Pit Bull needs to see that you can control the Rottweiler to a certain degree. The Rottweiler needs to see that you can control the Pit Bull to a certain degree. The Rottweiler needs to see, hey, this Pit Bull's not going to make me bleed. And the Pit Bull needs to see that, hey, you're not going to let this freaking crazy puppy overwhelm me. And once you can, hey, Larry, how are you, buddy? And once you can prove that to both dogs to a certain degree, I'm not talking about like total control, but I'm talking about somewhat of control, then you have a great shot at them getting along, at the very least respecting each other, because dogs don't necessarily love each other, but they do have to respect each other. But that is established and facilitated through the owner. So that's what I would do to ensure that your new Rottie puppy does not get hurt by your older pit bull, and make sure that your older pit bull does not get overwhelmed by your new energetic uh, male Rottweiler. All right. I appreciate your question. Feel free to ask another. All right. Did I miss any? Okay. Let me check. Yeah, Maverick is doing well. He's a typical big German Shepherd, um, very puppy-like. That just we got to watch it with these big dogs. Big dogs are really tough in the sense where, especially if they're smart, are fearful in the sense where they can really get what they want because given their size. I just talked to a lady who had a 1-year-old Mastiff who had already bitten the groomer. 1 years old, already bitten the groomer, or bites the groomer, and bites. I think she said she no, didn't bite the vet, but bit the groomer, and is overall very fearful. So I said, I'm sort of really begging these people to get training, because it's if you have a dog who's that size and that fearful, boy, it only gets worse if it's not addressed. It only gets worse, and it can be a very dangerous thing. There are things that the owner must learn, and there are things that the dog absolutely must learn. The owner must learn how to get the dog over those remedial fear issues. Because I talked to the owner and I already knew that the dog was probably scared of the lawnmower, the snowblower, maybe cars, but these are the opportunities. So those things add up. But these are the opportunities to get what you have to get, the dialogue necessary in order to get the dog to accept things that they could ultimately result in the dog's death. So challenge your dog in. Do not let your dog be afraid of things that they shouldn't be afraid of, because you are leaving the door open for allowing the dog to handle things the way that they see fit, and that could be very detrimental to their overall well-being. I just had an Australian Shepherd come to me for a private lesson. The dog went after a semi truck and then got hit by the tire, skinned all up right up in here, and also went after a bear. Chased after a freaking bear. We're in the sticks, man. So, but and the dog is also human aggressive. So we really got to work that dog through all of those things that they choose to control by a way of uncertainty and lack of structure, because the dog makes a choice from those two reasons. They're the lack of respect they have for the owner, but also tied with a little bit of uncertainty in how they deal with conflict. Those are the dogs that I work with. They choose to deal with conflict in a assertive way. All right. Hey, what's up, brother? Long time. I see you doing great. Great. Keep it up. I appreciate that, Jason. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. All right. What else we got? Let's check my email here. Okay. Hi, Jeremy. Do you have good video that teaches the steps before how to walk? Carly doesn't pull real bad, but definitely wants to walk out in front / walk us. Okay. Beer break. So when it comes to the steps before the how-to walk, there's really no steps that are before the walk. I think the biggest step for me when it comes to teaching people how to walk their dog is teaching people how to sit non-negotiably. And the sit should be there probably before the walk. And that way, again, the goal is to really have the opportunity to reinforce what needs to be reinforced and to get rid of the things that do not serve you or the dog. And that is a reactive mindset. And so when you're teaching the non-negotiable sit, the leash should be loose when the dog is sitting. Do not give the dog a treat right away. Do not give the dog praise right away. Let the dog mind settle before you give any sort of positive reinforcement. And then you are teaching the dog that calmness. Being calm gets you some good things. So that would be the only step before the walk. I mean, that would pretty much be it. But make sure that you are also anticipating the dog's tendencies when it comes to the walk. Most dogs will, after you give them a correction to stay by your side, right away go back to trying to forage a little bit. And you have to anticipate that and beat them to the punch, so to speak. And so anticipate that and give a couple of corrections, or as many as it takes. But you're trying to convince the dog of something. You're trying to convince the dog of something, and that just means you're putting up a boundary, and it will be uncomfortable for you if you continue to forage. But if the dog knows that your attempt to make him or her uncomfortable will dissolve before their ambition to continue to forage, then they'll just continue to forage, and they've beat you. So you have to, a very reliable way, again, to get the dog to be walking by your side, loose leash, is to address the tendency that ambition to walk in front of you every single time. You know what I mean? So, when are we getting lunch? I'm not sure if your feed is freezing or mine, but what's not freezing up is great stuff. Hey man, I appreciate that. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is some bull crap. It's already shut down on me. I'm gonna take another bite of my taco, guys. I hope you don't mind. Okay. Excuse me. All right, so got a question on YouTube. Dog is food aggressive when it's in the bowl. We have used hand feeding, and have gotten to the point where holding the bowl without issue. What's the next step? So there may be a lot of trainers that maybe disagree with me on this one, but when the dog is eating, I tend to leave the dog alone. The only thing I ask, or there's two things I ask from a dog when they're eating: to just be polite before I put the food down, And when I say out, you actually move your head from the bowl, which then I tell you to sit, and then I can grab the food bowl. That's the only two things that I care about. I'm not in the dog's food with my hands. I'm not petting the dog. Man, miss me with all that. I let a dog eat in peace, man. I just want the dog to be to be obedient when I say out, and I want the dog to be obedient when I put food down. That's it. I'm not. I'm. Listen, you pet me while I'm eating my when I'm eating a uh 10 piece chicken wings at Stadium View, freaking garlic parmesan with an extra crispy with fries and blue cheese, and I got a side of their hot sauce. You touch me while I'm eating my wings, and I'm liable to bite you too. I'm just being real, man. I am food aggressive myself. I don't want people messing with me while I eat. Don't mess with me, man. I want to eat. I'm like Homer Simpson in that one episode, and he's like, can't talk, eating. So I think on some level, dogs do have a natural tendency to become food stingy. Um, some dogs can handle it fine, whatever. But some dogs, man, they just want to eat in peace. Don't push them too far. So I'm respectful of that fact. I'm not trying to hump every freaking dog that's resource aggressive. It's like, oh, I was trying to touch him and pet him and kiss him, and oh no, 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 no. Leave the dog alone, man. Let it eat. But I do like the out command, just in case the dog, um, does possess something that's bad for him. Like I had a dog who was had possession of the of a raccoon carcass, and the owner could do nothing because the dog was like, "I'm gonna eat in this raccoon carcass," and obviously that's not good for the dog. So the issue runs a little deeper with possession issues, and that's where you can sort of address the problem too, my man. You know, um, the things that are less valuable, you can really teach the dog the out command. You can really teach the dog the leave it command, whatever. I prefer leave it. Excuse me. I prefer out before leave it because I was a working dog trainer for a long time. And so out you can say with a little bit more fire, passion, whatever it may be, and it really get a good response out of the dog instead of saying leave it. How forcible, can you say leave it? But when you say out, you can really use that OU to really be like boom, you know. Um, so teach the dog to be the point of the whole thing is to teach the dog out or to teach the dog to be respectful when you put down food. That way, but that doesn't. It's not subject to just food. It's also subject to bones, balls, new toys, whatever it may be. You know. So feel free to give me more information. The more information you give me, the more I can help you. So feel free to type in what exactly he's possessive over, what kind of dog you have, how old's the dog, what's all those things are important factors to know for me. All right. All right. I appreciate your question anyway, though. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna actually take a bite. Man, I don't know why my video is freezing though. I don't like that at all. That's crazy. 10 comments. Good Lord. Okay. As I mean, anybody who has a question that they need to ask, feel free to ask. You're not subject to one. Remember this. Your questions help out others who are going through the same thing. So ask away. I got one more beer and I'm going to finish this beer. Once I'm done with this beer, then we're done here, I think. Okay. I get so many little inquiries from people, man. I really should just ask people or here we go. Let's talk about this for a second. So I had a client that reached out to me, or a potential client reached out to me and talking about barking. How do I get barking to stop? It's come on pretty heavily. Okay, so when it comes to barking, you got to know why the dog is barking. That's the second most important thing. Second most important thing. Because when most dogs bark, they're barking because it's unnecessary, especially when you're home. It's unnecessary. Why do dogs bark? Because they want to feel safe. They feel like they can take control because you don't take control. That's why they bark. And so you have to take control of the bark. You have to take control of the scenario so that the dog realizes it doesn't have to bark. And so giving this dog something to do is the key to that. Or maybe not. It's not necessary to give the dog something to do, but the dog should know what no means then. Or quiet. Or go lay down. That's what's most important. When it comes to teaching the dog to not indulge in whatever the dog's got going on in its head. UPS man, dogs walking by, children walking by, children playing. The dog goes into its own head and says, "Rah, rah, 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 rah." In your home, while you're home, you guys should take that as disrespect because the dog has no regard of you and what you want. Dog just is only caring about what it wants. Rah, 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 rah. Quiet. Yeah, right. Rah, 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 rah. Don't care. I don't care what you say. Rah, 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 rah. Yeah, Brianna. So, but that's what I'm saying. We got to get the dog to actually think about you or consider what you will will say or do if the dog goes into that mindset. Nonstop barking is basically giving you the middle finger. Yeah. Gotta have that dog. Gotta have that dog to respond to you, and I mean in a really strong way. It's tough though. Territorial behavior is very, very hard to get over for a lot of dogs. It's not easy. Not easy. They naturally want to guard their territory, but it's not theirs. It's yours. Okay? It's not theirs. It's yours. So show them that. Show them. Let them have some freedom of the obligation to bark, to be on guard. Imagine if that were you. Every single time you saw somebody, you had to in some crazy way let someone know you were there. That'd be very stressful. Let's let's uh let's let's not allow them to be slave to the guarding duties, especially if it's not necessary. Golden retriever, man, a golden retriever. Wow. 3 years old. I personally use leave it for items the dog is passing, but out for when he holds an item. He tends to parade with an item he is holding, but has an issue with out. He wags his tail holding whatever it is until he gets close and make him come here. Then, as soon as he gets close, his tail gets stiff. Ooh, sassy boy. Um, yeah, I just use out for all of it. I don't use leave it. I use out for all of it. Even if I want my dog to move away from something that they're getting ready to possess, I'll say that out command big time. And then I'll use my body language to get the dog to move away. So like I'm possessing it. You know what I mean? Say if a big dog or a dominant dog wants to take a bone from another dog, they're just going to come up and take it. They're not going to say out. They're not going to say please, and they're not going to give them a treat if they do it. They're just going to take it. And so on some level, we do have to be aware of that. And so if that dog is getting ready to possess something or has something, it doesn't matter. I don't use leave it. I just use out, and the dog just drops whatever it wants, whatever it has, or whatever it's going to have. But that out command has got to be so married also with your body language too, like you're possessing it itself. And in order to practice that with the ball, practice that with something that doesn't mean as much. But I tell people never to reach in the bowl when you have a dog that's food possessed. If they're in there like this and they're eating like this, don't put your hand in it. Don't. Yes, you have people who can do that. Hooray for you. Good job. You deserve a cookie. But it's not necessary it's not a necessary goal for you to do that. Doesn't mean the dog loves you anymore. The dog can certainly lose love for you if you continue to mess with it while it's to eat. But the out command can really transfer if you start with something very non-valuable or not as valuable, like the ball, and then you move on to the food. You know what I mean? I hope that helps, man. Yeah, I'm currently doing that with my 6-month-old Golden. She needs to know what out means. And I've only used my body pressure as far as getting her to drop it. I haven't ever forced her to drop anything, but I've said out and then I've walked towards her and then she just drops it. But I have to have a good out command because again, if that say my child and that dog is going for a fucking, excuse me, my language, a gusher that I dropped on the floor, right? Toddler and dog going after it. I gotta say out, and the dog will back up, and I can grab the gusher and I can blow it off if it's been past 10 seconds, and I can eat that. You know what I'm saying? It's not that we're trying out our hands in, but we went after my family even after putting the dog on the sit and setting down the food. So you may need another tool that'll get that dog to realize that it definitely can't do that. Here's the deal with my dogs too, man. I feed my dogs away from the commotion. You know what I'm saying? Even people walking around the dog, even people in the same room is going to cause that dog's sort of tension to go up. I give my dogs the opportunity to go into a nice, quiet, calm room where they can eat, which is sometimes their crate, and then they can digest their food for the next hour, not stressed. So you may want to try that. You may want to put your dog in a quiet place because, again, it's not that big of a deal for me to get a dog to become comfortable with people humping them while they eat. Um, that's not in the long haul something that I'm trying to achieve as a trainer. I just want them to be respectful around food, and when I say out, that you leave whatever you're eating. You may need a training tool to get you to there, to get you to that point. All right. I appreciate all these questions, man. Continue to um, ask as many as you like. All right. We got a question on Instagram. We are working on our dog's stand for vet visits and nail trimming. Nice. Groomer says he's clamming up under any pressure that's not petting. Should we be using treats to encourage or just correct? Yeah, you can try it all. Try it all. Some dogs get more relaxed when treats are presented in that situation. Just make sure that the dog doesn't become pushy for treats in that situation, because a lot of dogs whose mindset flip when it comes to treats. They say, "Now I want those treats. So what do I have to do to get those treats?" But that also includes not listening to you, right? Not really getting the full lesson that you're trying to teach in that scenario. Yes, treats will relieve stress in certain situations, 100%. But you don't want a dog to then get to the mindset of, well, if you take away those treats, I'm not listening. And give me the treats, otherwise I'm not doing what you want me to do. There's a fine line, man. You got to be able to read dogs when it comes to when to give the right type of positive reinforcement that will benefit the dog as far as getting them through certain situations. So, yes, try it, see if it works, but don't let them become pretentious of the dog training treats. Hope that makes sense. Keep doing what you're doing, though. Um, keep doing what you're doing. I think that clamming up under pressure, any pressure, okay, that's fine. It's not the end of the world. All you have is time moving forward. As long as there's no harm that comes to the dog, because the dog clams up because he may think that there's harm coming to the dog. It wouldn't matter if you never ever put gave treats, but enough of those groomer visits, the dog would open up anyway, because nothing is going to happen that the dog thinks is going to happen. Dog clams up because he thinks maybe something's going to happen. But what if it doesn't happen? Over and over again, dog starts to clam up less and less and less and become confident. Because I've taken the worst dogs when it comes to nails and, oh man, grooming and just straight up, I don't want to be touched type dogs. You know what I'm saying? And they've got to submit to a certain level of control just to be able to reap the benefits of what's coming to them. There's a whole lot of good things that come if if you just sort of submit to the situation that's not going to cause you any harm, but is also very necessary to happen. Grooming is necessary. Bathing is necessary. Shots are necessary. Ear cleaning is necessary. It's all animal husbandry. Your dog should not act up because of those things. They should be very comfortable with those things. And if they're not, then you kind of got to force them to be. Because again, we're not causing them any harm. There's no abuse there. There's no reason to act a fool. All right. All right, you guys. If any of you guys on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram have one last question, type it in now. Type it in because otherwise, well, no, I've got some beer left. Those of you who just joined, this is Dog Training Q&A, episode 168. Please feel free to ask any question that you like about your dog. It definitely helps. Hi, Beth. It definitely helps other people who are watching who have the same issues. I love doing these things. I love doing these lives because, well, you know what they say. When the teacher teaches, they also learn. So I also learn. So I appreciate all of the questions. And hopefully we can help out some people. You know what I mean? That's it. All right. Nobody has any questions. Thank you guys for watching. Feel free to, I don't know, come next time with more questions. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers. Look at it. E-collar technologies. Check it out. Tide is looking at my phone. Tide, go to climb. Your cousin is getting work right now. Should I say cousin? What is he? It's your parents' dog, so be his uncle. Tide, your uncle is younger than you, but he's getting in work. He's putting in work right now, bro. Let's go. Ty got an uncle that's younger than him. Damn.